Most people spend their entire lives trying to make more money. They wake up early. They work long hours. They sacrifice their time, their health, and sometimes even their relationships, all in the hope that one day they'll finally have enough money to enjoy life. But here's the problem. One day they look back and realize they spent their entire life preparing to live, because the truth is, money is not the goal. Money is a tool. And if you never learn how to use it wisely, you can become wealthy on paper while remaining poor in life. You can have a large bank account, but no time. You can own expensive things, but have no meaningful memories. You can delay every experience until someday, only to discover that someday is not guaranteed. Life is too short, but that does not mean you should spend recklessly. It means you should learn to spend intentionally, because there is a huge difference between wasting money and using money to create a life that is actually worth living. In this video, we're going to talk about how to spend money wisely, how to enjoy your wealth without destroying your future, how to stop feeling guilty about spending money, and how to make sure your money serves your life instead of your entire life serving your money. Welcome to Ethanomics, where we talk about money, wealth, psychology, and building a life of quiet freedom. Many people have been taught that the responsible thing to do is to save everything. Don't spend. Don't enjoy. Don't travel. Don't buy anything unnecessary. Just work, save, invest, and wait. Wait until you retire. Wait until you have enough. Wait until the perfect time. But there is a problem with this mindset. The future is uncertain, and your energy, health, and time are not unlimited. Imagine someone who spends 40 years working. They save money every month. They invest carefully. They avoid almost every pleasure. They tell themselves, once I retire, I'll travel. Once I have enough money, I'll spend more time with my family. Once I'm financially free, I'll finally enjoy life. Then retirement arrives. But maybe their health is no longer the same. Maybe the people they wanted to spend time with have changed. Maybe their children are grown.
Maybe their parents are gone.
Maybe their energy is no longer what it used to be. The money is there, but the moment they saved it for is gone. This is why wise wealth is not about maximizing the amount of money you die with. It is about maximizing the value that your money creates during your lifetime. You need money for the future, but you also need to live in the present. The goal is not to spend everything today, and the goal is not to save everything for tomorrow. The goal is to create a balance between future security and present meaning, because money saved for the future is valuable, but money spent creating memories, health, freedom, and meaningful experiences can also be incredibly valuable. One of the biggest differences between wealthy thinking and consumer thinking is this. Poor financial thinking asks, what can I buy? Wealthy thinking asks, what can this money do for my life? You can spend $10,000 on a luxury item, or you could use $10,000 to buy yourself more freedom. Maybe you use it to eliminate high-interest debt. Maybe you invest it. Maybe you build a business. Maybe you take a meaningful trip with people you love. Maybe you use it to improve your health. Maybe you buy time. And time is one of the most valuable things money can purchase. Think about this. If you spend money on something that saves you 10 hours every week, that money is not simply buying convenience. It is buying back your life. If you spend money on education that increases your income for the next 20 years, that is not simply spending. That is an investment in your future options. If you spend money on a meaningful experience with your family, you are not just buying a flight or a hotel room. You are buying memories that may last for decades. The question should not simply be, is this expensive? The better question is, what does this purchase give me in return? Some purchases give you status. Some give you temporary excitement. Some give you comfort. Some give you health. Some give you time. Some give you freedom. And some give you memories. The goal is not to eliminate spending. The goal is to spend more money on things that genuinely improve your life. and less money on things that only impress people you barely know. There is a reason experiences often become more valuable over time. A new phone becomes old. A new car eventually loses its excitement. A piece of clothing gets forgotten. But a meaningful experience can become more valuable as the years pass. A trip with your family, a special dinner with someone you love, a concert, a journey to a place you've always wanted to see, a celebration, a moment of adventure. These experiences become part of your personal history, and sometimes years later, the memory becomes more valuable than the money you spent creating it. This does not mean you need to spend thousands of dollars on luxury travel. A meaningful experience does not have to be expensive. Sometimes it is a simple meal, a weekend away, a walk in a new place, a conversation, a celebration of a milestone. What matters is not the price tag. What matters is the meaning. There is a powerful question you can ask yourself. Will I remember this purchase 5 years from now? If the answer is no, maybe think twice before buying it. But if the answer is yes, and it genuinely matters to you, then it may be worth the money. Because the purpose of wealth is not to create a perfect bank statement. The purpose of wealth is to create a life filled with things that matter. Many people spend money on entertainment. They spend money on fashion. They spend money on technology. They spend money on status, but they hesitate to spend money on their health. This is a mistake, because everything becomes more expensive when your health begins to decline. Your time, your energy, your freedom, your happiness, your ability to work, your ability to travel, your ability to enjoy the money you worked so hard to earn. Spending money on healthy food, exercise, medical checkups, better sleep, a healthier environment, and reducing stress can be some of the best financial decisions you ever make. Because wealth without health is a very expensive form of poverty. You can have millions in the bank, but if you cannot enjoy your life, what is the money really doing for you? Of course, money cannot guarantee perfect health, but wise spending can improve your chances of living with more energy, independence, and freedom. The wealthy understand that prevention is often cheaper than repair. Taking care of your body today may save you enormous costs tomorrow. And more importantly, it may give you something money cannot easily buy back: time. One of the greatest tragedies of modern life is that people often spend money trying to impress strangers, while neglecting the people they actually love. They buy expensive clothes for people they barely know. They upgrade their lifestyle to compete with people online. They spend money trying to look successful, while having less time for their family. But real wealth is not about impressing everyone. It is about having the freedom to spend your life with people who matter to you. Money can create opportunities for connection. A family vacation, a dinner, a celebration, a thoughtful gift, helping someone you love during a difficult time, supporting your parents, creating experiences with your children. These things may not increase your net worth, but they can increase the value of your life. And here is something important. You should not wait until you are rich to be generous. You do not need to spend huge amounts of money. Sometimes generosity is simply paying for dinner, helping someone, giving your time, sharing an opportunity, being there when someone needs you. Money is most powerful when it moves beyond yourself, because wealth that only benefits one person can eventually become empty. But wealth that creates security, opportunity, and meaningful experiences for others can become part of something much bigger. Here is one of the smartest ways to spend money. Buy back your time. Most people understand the value of money, but they underestimate the value of time. Imagine earning $20 an hour. You spend 3 hours doing something you hate to save $60. Was that really a good deal? Maybe, but the real question is, What could you have done with those 3 hours? You could have spent time with family, worked on your business, exercised, rested, learned something, created something, or simply enjoyed your life. Of course, not every convenience is worth paying for, but sometimes spending money to save time is one of the best financial decisions you can make. A cleaner, a faster commute, better tools, automation, delegating tasks, paying for education that helps you learn faster. These are not necessarily signs of laziness. They can be strategic decisions, because money can often be earned again, but time cannot. Once a day is gone, it is gone forever. This is why the wealthiest people often focus on more than income. They focus on controlling their time, because true wealth is not simply having money. True wealth is having choices. The choice to say no, the choice to rest, the choice to spend time with people you love, the choice to pursue meaningful work, the choice to walk away from situations that destroy your peace. Money should help you create more of these choices. One of the most expensive habits in the world is trying to look rich, because the desire to appear wealthy can destroy actual wealth. You buy the expensive car, the designer clothes, the newest phone, the luxury lifestyle, not because you truly want them, but because you want other people to think you are successful. And the irony is, the people you are trying to impress may not even care, or they may be struggling financially too. You could spend $100,000 trying to look wealthy, while the person next to you quietly invests that money and becomes financially independent. This is why quiet wealth is so powerful. It does not need constant attention. It does not need approval. It does not need to prove itself. Before you spend money, ask yourself, would I still want this if nobody could see it? If the answer is yes, maybe it genuinely brings value to your life. But if the answer is no, you may not be buying the product. You may be buying approval, and approval is one of the most expensive things you can purchase, because there is never enough of it. You buy one thing, then you need another. You upgrade, then you compare. Then someone else buys something better, and the cycle continues forever. The solution is simple. Spend money on what you genuinely value, not on what you think will make strangers respect you. Here is a simple system you can use. Create a separate account or category called the Life Fund. This money is not for emergencies. It is not for bills. It is not for investing. It is specifically for enjoying your life. Maybe it is 5% of your income. Maybe it is 10%. The amount depends on your financial situation. The important thing is that you intentionally create space for enjoyment, because if you do not budget for joy, you may either spend recklessly or feel guilty every time you spend money. A life fund gives you permission to enjoy your money responsibly. You can use it for travel, restaurants, hobbies, experiences, gifts, entertainment, personal goals, anything that genuinely brings meaning or joy into your life. And once the money is in that account, you can spend it without guilt, because your essentials are covered, your savings are happening, your investments are growing. And this money has one job: to remind you that life is happening now. Money should not only be used to prepare for life. Some money should be used to experience life. Before making a major purchase, ask yourself 3 questions. Question 1. Will this purchase improve my life 6 months from now? Some purchases create happiness for an hour. Some create value for years. The longer the benefit lasts, the more valuable the purchase may be. Question 2. Am I buying this because I want it, or because I want other people to see it? This question can save you thousands of dollars. If the purchase is mainly about approval, pause. Question 3. Will I regret spending this money, or regret not experiencing this moment? This is one of the most important questions, because sometimes the biggest regret is not spending money. Sometimes it is waiting too long, waiting to travel, waiting to call someone, waiting to celebrate. waiting to pursue your dream, waiting for the perfect financial moment. The perfect moment may never come. Of course, you need financial discipline, but discipline should not become a prison. Money is supposed to give you more freedom, not make you afraid to live. A healthy financial life has 4 parts. Part 1, survive. Pay for your basic needs: housing, food, healthcare, transportation, essential expenses. Part 2, protect. Build an emergency fund, manage debt, protect your future, have appropriate insurance, create financial stability. Part 3, grow. Invest, build skills, increase your income, create assets, build long-term wealth. Part 4, live. Enjoy your money, travel, spend time with loved ones, pursue your interests, create memories, experience the world. The mistake many people make is focusing only on Part 3. They want to grow their wealth forever, but they forget Part 4. And without Part 4, the entire system becomes meaningless. Because what are you growing wealth for? The answer should be to create a better life, not just a bigger number. A dollar does not have the same value at every stage of your life. When you are young, money may be valuable because it helps you build your future. It can buy education, skills, experiences, opportunities. As you get older, money may become more valuable because it can buy comfort, health, security, and freedom. But there is something else. Your time changes. When you are 25, you may have more energy but less money. When you are 50, you may have more money but less time. When you are 75, you may have more wisdom, but perhaps less physical ability. This is why wise spending changes throughout life. You should not spend your entire life using the same financial strategy. There is a time to build, a time to protect, a time to enjoy. And often, these stages overlap. The goal is not to wait until the end of your life to finally start living. The goal is to create small moments of living throughout the entire journey. You may be thinking, this sounds great, but I don't have a lot of money. And that is exactly why spending wisely matters. You do not need to be rich to spend intentionally. You can spend $20 wisely. You can spend $100 wisely. You can spend $1,000 wisely. The principle is the same. Spend money on what matters most to you. Maybe it is buying healthier food. Maybe it is spending time with family. Maybe it is taking a small trip. Maybe it is learning a skill. Maybe it is investing in your future. Maybe it is simply giving yourself a moment of peace. The goal is not to live an extravagant life. The goal is to live a meaningful one. Because a person with a modest income who spends intentionally may experience more happiness than someone with millions who is constantly chasing more. Wealth is not only about how much money you have, it is also about how much life your money creates. At the end of your life, you probably will not remember every purchase you made. You will not remember every paycheck. You will not remember every bill you paid. You may not even remember how much money was in your bank account on a random Tuesday, but you may remember the places you visited, the people you loved, the experiences you created, the risks you took, the time you spent with the people who mattered, the moments when you felt truly alive. Money is important. You should respect it, save it, invest it, grow it, protect it, but do not worship it, because money is a tool, and a tool is only valuable when you use it. So save for the future, but do not sacrifice your entire present. Invest for tomorrow, but do not forget that today is also part of your life. Spend on things that give you freedom. Spend on your health. Spend on meaningful experiences. Spend time with people you love. Spend money on what you truly value. And stop spending money just to impress people who are not living your life. The goal is not to die with the most money. The goal is to live a life where your money helped you experience more freedom, more meaning, more connection, and more moments that were truly worth remembering, because life is too short to spend your entire life preparing to live. Use your money wisely. Build your wealth. Protect your future, but remember to live along the way. This is Ethanomics. If you believe money should create freedom, not just status, subscribe to Ethanomics for more videos about wealth, money psychology, and building a financially free life. And remember, the richest life is not always the one with the most money. It is the one where your money is used to create the most meaningful life.